So there have been a few content creators who have been talking about how to be a male VTuber or takes about male VTubing. Full disclosure, I've seen these already, but as a male VTuber who is relatively new at this, I've been doing this for a little over 2 months at this point. So I'm still a newbie. I felt like it would be fun to watch these and give my 2 cents real quick.
If you are a guy, it's gonna be 3 times as hard to be a VTuber. Count it as a hobby, and I
Uh-huh.
would suggest making content on YouTube first. Find some kind of niche content that you want to make and stream it. It does not have to be with a model. Find some kind of like topic and talk about it. You do not even have to use your face. But
Nope.
if you're just planning on like getting a VTuber model and just jumping on Twitch and playing video games, it is going to be so
very
hard
hard.
for you because there is very little discoverability on Twitch.
Nope.
I wouldn't recommend just hopping on Twitch and just grinding. It's not the way. It's just not.
Yeah. Overall, she is very, very right on most of the on most of not all these things. For me, actually, it was, well, yes, YouTube videos, but more YouTube Shorts was what I did before streaming. I just spammed YouTube Shorts. Arguably, I spammed it a little too much. For niches and like saying, oh, you shouldn't game, or maybe just have no face and just do a model, find your niche. That's still very much a struggle with me. I'm just doing what I love and going to try really hard. It is, and yeah, it is difficult. It is an uphill battle. I'll actually just go with what I wrote down. As a male VTuber who streams, I know it's an uphill battle, but that won't stop me. It won't. I'll just keep trying and put in an honest effort. Like, I feel, like, knowing that it's more difficult, that makes me feel more determined, if that makes sense. Like, more determined to overcome those, like, challenges, knowing that. Because it is, the male VTuber debuff is real. Now this clip, I actually saw the day before this came out, so it was, like, another reason why it was back-to-back like, large VTubers talking about male VTubers. And I love this pixel model. It is a really good model. Maybe one day I'll get one of those models myself. Who knows?
Okay, I'm just gonna put it frankly. All of the good male VTubers either have 6 viewers.
Oof.
No, all male VTubers are either not. They're
Yes.
either fine, but they have 6 viewers, or they have a lot of viewers. And
BFE?
yeah.
BFE, yeah. Yeah, that is the catch-22. Like, for instance, I usually multi-stream on 4 different platforms: YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and Kick. And, like, not for my React content because copyright rules and all that. But I usually stream on, like, 4 different platforms, and there are times where it's like, you're a literal 2 view on 4 platforms, and you're just like, oof, it can be rough. But yeah, especially if you're like a non-BFE, which I would not consider myself of the BFE mold, not whatsoever. In fact, I would say I'm pretty much the opposite end.
Oh yeah, when I make my male VTuber jokes, I do not actually mean 100% of
Really?
male VTubers.
You
I mean,
don't?
50 to 70% of male VTubers.
Honestly, I would say like 75, 80 personally, I would say fit that mold. But, you know, you can say 50, 75 if that's more generous. Because I'm thinking, like, because here's the thing. When it comes to, like, by the way, when I say BFE, that stands for boyfriend experience. Just for clarification, if you don't know. Like, you don't have to be pandering to your viewers to be a BFE VTuber. You just usually have to have, like, a certain voice, a certain, like, atmosphere that people, predominantly a lot of Fujosies or young girls, find attractive. Which, no shade or shame to, like, people who, like, fit that mold, whether they want to or not. There are definitely some who probably go a little too deep into parasocial sauce, but there are some that are just like, yeah, I kind of just fit that mold and I don't really want to. In fact, you set firm boundaries, but even so, you fit that mold, and a lot of people like you for that reason. I'm just moving my model a bit just to fit a little nicely.
It's okay. There's always an exception to the rule.
I want to become the exception. That's my goal. my goal is to become the successful male VTuber who isn't BFE. That is like my dream. That is my like peak goal. Like I want to become a successful male VTuber who doesn't fit the standard BFE or like mold. Ooh.
But
Saving.
all popular male VTubers that I know of, which admittedly is not many,
True.
for good reason, end up being very suspicious sooner or later. I just think a lot of them are sus. I'm sorry, I do.
That makes sense.
But it's a space where if you are a male VTuber, the vast majority of your fans
I
are
won't.
going to be underage girls.
Actually, like for my content right now, majority is definitely male. Like even in my shorts where it's like that has the highest female percentage rate, like it's still relatively low. By the way, hey you watching this YouTube video right now, did you know only negative 1,000 people are subscribed? 1,000 people, not 1,000%. 1,000 people have subscribed. Make sure to subscribe. Don't be a lurker. It helps feed me. I feed off attention. Num 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 num. Feed me. And also maybe, you know, like, subscribe. I already said subscribe. Hypes aren't available yet, but, you know, maybe a little share to your friends, being like, hey, look at this cringe person. Or, hey, look at this person. They're speaking truth. I don't know. Just please. E-bagging part of lore. Let's go.
And someone who gets into that knowingly is kind of sus, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like, if you know like what you're getting into, and that's another reason why I'm like I'm very fortunate. I don't want to fit that mold. I don't want to be that deep in the parasocial sauce. I like, okay, I don't want to have a full rant about parasocial relationships, although I might do a rant about full parasocial relationships, because a lot of people want to like fully say a parasocial relationship means absolutely nothing. It's completely worthless, which is untrue. That's just factually wrong. It is something. It is a relationship where you spend a often unhealthy amount of time consuming content with a person, and you often have direct interactions with that person. That is factually speaking a relationship, and depending on the closeness and your definition of friendship, you could even define it as a type of friendship. However, even if we're being as generous as possible and saying a parasocial relationship can be a type of friendship, it is not the same. It is not even close to the same type of friendship as like a person you actively speak to a lot of the time or like see in real life. Though, like that relationship is just clearly different, and saying healthy boundaries is very good, which is probably why I have no interest in trying to do a Discord. I'm just being honest. Got no interest in doing a Discord. That's my quick little parasocial rant. I could do a longer rant, but also, how much time do I want to do for that rant? Let's just continue this.
Oh, I don't know anything about Holostars. I'm really not referring to them. I've heard they're
follow
okay,
a few, yeah.
But I'm gonna be honest, they kind of fit into their small group, because considering they're backed by Hololive, none of them are especially big VTubers, to be honest.
Yeah, like it's also Hololive still fits in like I would call the more traditional idol mold, where like, yeah, like there's very much a clear separation of like Hololive and Holostars, which I think they were trying to lower that like separation for a good while, but then they realized it just wasn't really working, and a lot of Hololive fans are idol fans, or a lot of the really dedicated, I guess, core audience. As much as a lot of people don't want to admit, a lot of the core audience who will like buy tickets, buy merch, and like be one of your Aki supers are often do fit in that like core audience of like idol culture people, which I don't think is inherently wrong. I do think a lot more things can very much go wrong with a standard idol culture, but let's not pretend like the standard, like, I guess, more streamer culture of like what I would call the shoujo gen, like of like more just full-on streamers, and like it's the streamer mindset, the streamer like environment, but with VTubers instead of IRL people, which is like, it is fundamentally a different mindset. I do think more like things can go wrong, but to a just in a different way. But as for the whole side tangent over both the Hollow Stars, I follow a few. They're pretty cool, solid. They just don't have the same type of backing, and it's not like they're a part of the. They're like they're a sister, or in this case, a brother company, effectively. And also, I'm pretty sure they made it like after seeing the success of like the Male Vtubers and Niji Sanji. Although I'm not sure if that's true or not. I think it is.
Like, I get Hollow Stars is another branch, but they're still supported by Hololive compared to.
But yeah, but the people who watch Hololive won't watch Hollow Stars, which is also a thing. Like, I think in like the more streamer VTuber environment, I think more viewers are more willing to watch male VTubers, or like there are still some that get like upset if they see like a male and female collab together, because it'd be like that sometimes. But I do think like overall, especially when considering that the initial wave of VTubing, like the VTuber boom, which happened in 2022, like that was 5 years ago. Like a lot of the people who like consumed like VShojo and like just indie like Twitch VTubers, like they've grown up more, they've probably matured more, so I think they're more willing to watch male VTubers. That's at least my perspective on that.
To the female VTubers, they're practically 2 views. Yeah, like I doubt many Hollow Stars members even make enough to be full-time. Which is kind of crazy when you're backed by the biggest VTubing company.
Do they not have a salary? Like, it depends on if they got a salary or not.
Yeah, the market isn't there in Japan, exactly.
Oh yeah, definitely not. Well,
and I'm not.
Aren't there, like, there are male VTubers in Japan that do well. It's just, they gotta, it's a different target audience than the Hololive. Like, if I had to make a Venn diagram of Hollow Stars enjoyers and Hololive enjoyers, that would be a pretty small, like middle part, where I think, like, maybe, like, Twitch or, like, indie live streamers, I think there's, like, the Venn diagram overlap, especially with, like, a more aging, like, and maturing viewer base. I think the overlap is a lot higher.
Saying they're like nobodies or anything, because they're backed by the Hololive brand naturally. Pretty sure most of them are like bigger than me, so I don't really have any room to talk. But compared to like the Hololive girls,
Uwamoko, like
Hollow Stars are like little blips. Even the smallest members of like Hollow ID or Halloween.
I'm going to have to move for this.
Mock Hollow Stars.
Oof. It's interesting. When someone who's graduated from what people consider the least successful English generation, which, like, it depends on how you measure success, but yeah, sure. When someone who's graduated, like, what, 2 to 3 years ago from the least successful EN generation, and that's, like, I think that's, like, the most successful JP Hollow Stars member, right? Like, he is the biggest Hollow Stars member. Like, I'm not too familiar with JP's game, I'm going to be honest. When it comes to VTube watching, I was very casual, like, some Hololive, EN, VShojo's, like, initial circle, and then, like, creeping members, and then the reverse. Like, and I was a clip watcher, not a stream watcher, so a lot of my knowledge on indie VTubers is pretty lackluster, or JP, because I haven't been doing my reps.
You know, I was a Hololive fan for like 3 years before I knew what Hollow Stars was. It is isolated so hard from the main brand.
By design, yeah.
The huge portion of the fan base don't even know what it is, and to be honest,
I don't think they want to know.
I think that's a very good thing. Not because I have anything against the talents, but just because the vast majority of female VTuber fans do not want to watch male VTubers.
Yeah,
and I think it was a clever choice to make.
I said, yeah, I agree with a lot of the things she said, but as said, I do think with both the aging, like, consumer base and, like, the more Twitch collab environments are a lot more have more gender cross and all that, so I think it's just more, like, accepted, more people are fine with, like, at worst, they're indifferent. But overall, they're they're right about a lot of things, but a lot of this, just, a few points I disagree with.